Hello and welcome to The Voice. My name is Joseph Salam. I'm editor here, and I'm here today with Jonathan Winn, candidate for Director of Diversity Efforts with the Imagine UW ticket.
Imagine UW.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just dive right into it. What background do you have working with underrepresented students here on the University of Washington campus and abroad?
Well, I've actually worked in student disability services at Seattle Central, so that's just abroad. And actually just working with that community. Actually coming here to the University of Washington, I am the president of the Black Student Union, so I'm working with that underrepresented community. And as well as being a leader in the Student Diversity Coalition, which is actually a group here on campus working to better underrepresented students here on campus, and that is actually a culmination of people from the Latina community, the Pacific Islander community, the GLBT community, the Black community, and abroad and more.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Please, this one's a little bit more of a direct question about the past of the position as a whole.
Okay.
Please discuss two criticisms you have for either the current or the former directors of the directors of diversity efforts, and explain what you would have done differently in their shoes.
Well, actually, I know the two, past and current. I've only been here for 2 years, so Ben Lelofi and Dalia Amin, who is running on Imagine UW.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to say that they both brought unique perspectives and work to the position. For me, I would say the one thing that I would actually want to work more on is working with different religious backgrounds. A lot of diverse religious backgrounds are here on campus. And sometimes we just like to think of ethnicity, and we like to think of just sexual gender and you know, those things. But actually, religion is one of the things that makes us diverse. So just working more with them. I've actually worked closely with the Muslim Student Association here on campus, and been a part of Bridges, which is interfaith learning. And I just want to see that they are included. So
yeah, absolutely. If you could accomplish one thing as the Director of Diversity Efforts, what would it be?
I would just say people know about that we are here. When I say we, I mean underrepresented students here on campus. Actually, through a joint meeting with First Nations, which is the American Indian student group here on campus, and one of the comments after the meeting was, "Oh, I didn't know that American Indian students were here on campus," and that's something that you should know.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So bringing awareness through the commissions, be it tabling, be it putting posters that the commissions are here, underrepresented students are here, and diversity is here on campus is something that I want to make sure that the freshmen and everybody that comes after knows.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you plan to work with the Joint Commission Committee in next year in helping the diversity commissions run their programming, and what do you see your role in that dynamic to be?
That dynamic. Well, the Joint Commission Committee is, you know, just oversees the 8 commissions, and the majority of their job is to throw programs. So being president of the Black Student Union, I've actually thrown a lot of programs this year, and I know how it feels to try to find talent or to get the budget right, or you know, it's the last day and people aren't showing up, and you want people to, you know, you get invited on Facebook and things of that nature. So basically what my job is to definitely help them with the budget, definitely help them with planning. On the day of event, I want to be there to give an assisting hand, because it's not a group, it's a commission. They're a commissioner, so they're one person, and they rely on volunteers. And I want to make sure I'm the volunteer that they can rely on most. And just bring awareness too, because you want people to show up to your events. And I know how it feels sometimes where you have a lot of people show up and you feel great, and even if you threw a program that was wonderful and only 2 people showed up, you still feel bad. And I don't want any of the commissions to feel that way, because they do good work here on campus.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. In an earlier interview with the presidential candidate, Dalia Amin, former Director of Diversity Efforts, she referred to this position as being emotionally draining. It's a hard position to get into and to work for a whole year, and in all the different difficulties that come with the position. How do you see yourself working through the personal, emotional structures that come with it?
I think I agree with just talking to people, Ben Lelofi, Dahlia Amin, and even the past director of diversity efforts before Dahlia, Sabrina Fields. And one thing that I think all of us have in common is the passion that we have for diversity and the passion that we have for seeing it thrive on campus and succeed. So when you're passionate about something, even if it's draining, you still get back up the next day because you love to do it, you know? And I think my love for diversity, just working thus far, and it has been draining, will just replenish because I want to see it succeed. And even if we're down and it's, you know, not going well, the next day I'm getting back up because I want to see it succeed, you know? And I don't like to fail. And I don't want any of the commissions to feel like they fail, like they would fail. So just that love and that, just that love that I have for diversity, I think will help me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What has been your favorite moment here on the University of Washington campus?
Here at UW. Would have to say just me being a sophomore here at the university and being a leader here on campus. A lot of people look up to you, and you want to make sure that you give them all that the University of Washington has to offer. There's something here called Retro, which is an open mic here on campus, and people love it. And there was a student here on campus who was like, you know, the university is so boring. I don't have anything I want to do, and you know, this is boring. I want to go home. And I actually was like, well, you know, you need to come out to Retro one day and just see how you like it. And I took them out to Retro, and they loved it. They weren't involved in anything else on campus but Retro. And just bringing their friends out and just having fun and just seeing them be a part of Retro and going up for the first time on stage. It's just like proud, like that's, you know, I'm like that's my, you know, that's my son out there, you know, even though it's not. But I'm just seeing people love the university like I do is probably one of my favorite moments, and it continues to be one every time I go to Retro, which is the first Mondays of the month at the Ethnic Cultural Theater. Give a plug, but it continues to just make me proud. So.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's a little bit more of a touchy issue that's come up this year as a part of budget cuts, that everyone's facing drastic cuts in one thing that one group of entities that will eventually be cut in one form or another is the commissions. How, as the director of diversity efforts and someone who works directly with the commissions to develop their budget, how do you see yourself working through that process and working with the board of directors to make sure cuts are fair and working on the budget as a whole? Yeah, it's a tough.
It is a tough question.
Yeah,
but the fact of the matter is there are budget cuts. One thing that I know is that all of the commissions have certain programs that they throw that are just like a staple. You know, it's a staple in their community, and I want to make sure that those programs are taken care of, and also use intercommission working to make sure that the programs can happen. So at the table, when budget cuts are made, I want to make sure that the commissions are there. A lot of times, as director of diversity efforts and as the board of directors, you're the eight, and you make the decisions, and sometimes you don't go back to talk to them. And I want to make sure that the commissions are aware of everything that's going on, so that when I have the JCC meetings, this is what's going on, you guys, this is how it's going to work. Look at your budget and see if it's possible. And we go back to the table, you know. I just don't want it to be cut. And then, you know, I can't even throw this program that my community is, you know, working on. So just making sure that they're at the table, that they're aware, and also advocate. Because a lot of times people think that I can't do anything about it. Like, these budget cuts are just going to happen and it's just going to be cut. No, you need to speak for yourself. And that's one thing that Director of Diversity Efforts does, is I need to be able to speak on their behalf. I need to speak eloquently. I need to not offend people, and I need to make sure that we get what we need as the JCC. Yeah,
absolutely. And my last question is, this year you are the Black Student Union president. How do you see that executive experience playing a direct role as the director of diversity efforts?
I think being the Black Student Union president was an experience that I loved, but it taught me so much. It taught me about myself. It taught me working with others. It taught me trying to collaborate, and still trying to be, you know, an entity by itself. And one thing that I think it has really taught me that I'll take as director of diversity efforts is listening. I am the type of person who, if I'm, you know, usually when I'm set on something, you know, I'm ready to go. But being the Black Student Union president showed me that others around you make a plan succeed. And I want to definitely use that when I'm going to the Ethnic Cultural Center, when I'm going to the Q Center, when I'm going to the Women's Center, to get their voices and get their input, because just my opinion alone is not the best decision, you know? And being the president of the Black Student Union really taught me that. So
yeah, absolutely. And we'll close on that, but excellently done. And thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much.
The editors and the writers of The Voice would just like to thank you for taking some time off on a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. This Sunday. It's not
Saturday.
Sunday. It's Saturday.
It's
yeah,
okay.
On a beautiful Saturday day, just to sit in Condon and talk to us. So thank you for coming out.